Hey guys, thank you very much for stopping by and checking out Waypoint Digital. I'm Phil, and I'm here to talk about, if you guys see the title, masturbation and being able to make money off of it. And part of the reason why I want to talk about this subject, as I'm sure a lot of you have perused through TikTok, and some of the things that I've encountered was really about, well, do the unjabbed get paid more if they donate their sperm to one of the sperm banks. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't found any information to confirm kind of the speculative ideas about people who haven't got treatment yet in regards to that guy over there. But anyway, in that mode of being able to look up this kind of stuff, it was an interesting piece of information that I felt like needed a little bit more attention for at least for me to understand it. So now I'm just delivering that situation to you guys. So with that being said, we're just going to get right into the video as I described earlier. And one of the important things to consider is that whatever that type of theory that's going out there, and this is really going to be the focus of the video because it both covers not financial advice and also sea theories. It is a little bit of a digression, but I think it's important to suggest some of the different options that are available out there for generating income off of kind of obscure in a lot of obscure ways. And one of the obscure ways is actually to donate your sperm. And this also applies to donating eggs from a fertile female. So it's kind of an interesting take, and it's you can actually make a considerable amount of money depending on a lot of different factors. So we actually want to go through that. But the first one that I do want to go over is talk about some of the guidelines that they have, and I'm not going to read through this one that I got from the IVF in the Boston area. But as you can see, they do encourage to be able to get your, you know what I'm saying? So not going to deep detail in regards to this, but there are certain conditions that you have to meet with that, and it's not a complete requirement to be able to get the. However, they do talk about some certain aspects of safety to make sure that if you do decide that you're going to donate either eggs or sperm, you have to take into consideration of when you get treatment and then when you consider donating. But one of the other interesting aspects about this is if those sea theories that I've been seeing on TikTok are true, then the Mayo Clinic wouldn't post something like this where they're encouraging getting treatment. But like I said, I don't know. I actually wanted to confirm if these videos that people were posting were true, and then on and I also want to find out for myself. So I'm definitely I'm considering taking a little bit more effort and trying to understand if most of this type of stuff that we find online is true. And I think it's going to be tougher and tougher to parse out any type of concrete information that gives us facts instead of harking on possibilities or ideas that we want to at least that we would for people that are in a particular mode of thinking. There's obviously some hope or wishing in regard to that. And like I said, I'm not trying to knock on whatever group, but it's important to suggest that these types of information are just kind of um, you know showing up on things like TikTok, but it's also good to validate if a lot of this information is true, so that we can make informed decisions in regards to maybe considering the option of doing that. So whether at this rate on a conclusive basis, I would say that the information is inconclusive. However, it does give some semblance of information that yes, this is that something that we can confirm that it is an alternative of generating some income for somebody who might be interested. and there are certain requirements involved to be able to donate, because not everyone can. But a key point about that is, and what's really strange is that earlier in the week I was looking up this information and I was able to find it fairly easy. But there are requirements in regards to age, um, your work history, family history, and then your height. So people who are men who are under 5'6", that seems to be the average height for a lot of sperm banks across the U.S. But I've seen information out there from places in Boston where they're only looking for people 5'8" to 6'6" tall. So any of the people that are kind of outside of that height requirement, it seems to be that there's little demand for people that are extremely tall, and then there is definitely little demand for people who are shorter, who fall below that 5'6", 5'8". So it is what it is. So unfortunately, for people that are men that are below that height, there isn't a demand for these sperm banks to have people that are short. Obviously, there could be some concessions made for some of the requirements at these sperm banks. However, that was kind of an interesting find. And what's also interesting is that as I was preparing for this video, I was having a difficult time finding those requirements for heights. So I just find it fascinating that over the course of, as I'm recording the video and then now I wanted to relay this information to everybody, I can't find that information anymore. But it's locked here in my head, and I'm sure if you did a Google search or a DuckDuckGo search, you'd be able to find this type of info. But anyway, let's get back into it. So we're going to touch on what sperm donation is, and it's basically you do a little strokey stroke and get yourself a cup and send it to the bank. I mean, that's not really. I mean, that's a portion of it. Obviously, that wouldn't be at home. I think you would have to go to the clinic. But what's interesting is that you can make up to about $1,500. And again, if you're a doctor or an engineer, or you have some type of social status out there, that could actually bump up the value of the sperm that's donated. But that doesn't include the process of when you go out there and you do the tug and pull on your little buddy there. What ends up happening is that there is an additional approval process after the deed is done, and then on top of that, from my understanding, you actually have to commit on a weekly basis or monthly basis to a year to be able to provide um, your man juices. So kind of just put that into perspective. So at least in that regard, if you are qualified to be able to donate, you do get that I guess you could say opportunity to go to the clinic, donate your stuff, and get paid for it. And I don't know how that works out tax wise. I would assume that the tax filing would be somewhere in the 1099 range, right? Or it might be considered something like lottery or winning. I'm not really sure, but it's something that requires some further investigation. But it is a way to generate some sort of income if you're looking to have a low effort, or depending, I guess, on the person, right? How much effort that's needed to be able to accomplish this process. But again, I think if someone meets certain requirements, or they have all the check boxes filled in regards to being able to donate, it's upwards up to $1,500, which is a pretty considerable amount of money. And on top of that, if you're paying rent, maybe it'll cover your rent or your mortgage. So that's a great opportunity there. Again, with not much effort, unless you have to drive to the clinic on a regular basis and donate. So it's going to take time and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's a great option to consider. Uh, So on the social media front, again, there's a lot of speculation going around in regards to this, and this is really, like I said, whenever I encounter certain types of information, I like to be able to validate it. And it was actually very difficult to find any concrete information that would suggest that people who didn't get the will 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 actually get paid more. So again, it's all speculation, and it's something that I would like to be able to find out more about. And considering if I do have time, that I will dedicate energy into validating if any of this is true. But anyway, like I said, if you guys are on TikTok, you probably encountered this type of information out there and had a little chuckle about it. But it's one thing to be speculative on a theory. On the other end, it's we don't know. At least I don't know. Maybe someone out there has experience in this. If you do, please share your experience with validating if this information is true or not. Because, like I said, it's just kind of an interesting thing, and ended up kind of being a little mini project for me to be able to kind of investigate a little bit further. And then, as I was saying, as I prepared for this video, I couldn't find some of the information that I found earlier. You know, fault on me for not saving it. And this article right here, W Marketing Agency talks about the different process, the whole process of donating your sperm to a place, and it's definitely worth a read just to be able to to go through it. And again, considering that there are a lot of different options to be able to make money, this is just one alternative that people can consider if financially you're finding that you need a little bit more cash. So you can locate a lot of different sperm banks out there in Massachusetts, and then again, upwards. Let me scroll this up here. Upwards to $1,500, I think. So that's not bad if you consider, like you said, if you're paying rent or need a little bit of extra cash, maybe you got a lot of experience choking the bishop. I don't know, but this is a great option for you guys, and for women as well. Apparently, donating fertile eggs is actually worth a lot more, and I think. I believe that maybe there's a considerably good reason for that, because sperm, there's no limit. Well, there is a limit until someone dies, but sperm goes on forever. Whereas eggs, there's a certain number of eggs that the ovaries carry, and then eventually, after a certain age, a woman doesn't have any more eggs to deliver. So there's a demand for eggs out there for women. Like I said, if you guys are looking for guys and gals, if you're looking to make a little bit of extra income, this might be an alternative source that you can commit to. Maybe you already have the children. I don't know what the requirements are for women. I did not double check that, but it is something to consider, guys, if you are looking to generate a little bit more income. Now, for someone like me who travels quite extensively throughout the course of the year, uh, the traveling portion would not allow me to be able to commit to anything like this. And I'm sure you guys would like to see that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if it is a good idea to do. If you have experience, maybe, well, actually, you probably don't even want to share that you guys did this thing. But again, it's kind of a different alternative out there, and I think it's important to consider that in the U.S. I don't know in other countries. I would assume in other countries that they have this type of service available in those countries. That there are alternative ways to make income if the situation in the household were to hit a fever pitch. So this might be a good way to make make this alternative income, and then invest it in things like cryptocurrency or stocks. But that's all I got for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of a little fun little project, much shorter video. And like I said, it's more than likely most people probably would not want to share their experience in regards to being able to donate man milk out there. However, like I said, it was kind of just an interesting topic that popped up as I was scrolling through TikTok and happened to come across it, and I thought it'd be funny to be able to share it and show my findings. But what I haven't concluded yet was whether or not people who didn't get the um, if that actually was something that was true. That I have not confirmed. But however, regardless of all that, again, it is an alternative source of income if people were looking for that. And I'm going to investigate this a little bit more and see what I come up with and tune in more as this develops. But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.